Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome back to Moonveil Tarot. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, let's get into your reading, Sagittarius. The feelings we carry the longest are the ones we're most afraid to say out loud. And what's been living in this person, quietly, privately, in the space between what they've shown you and what they've actually felt, has been there since a very specific moment. A moment that has a name for them, even if it doesn't have a name for you. The first time they heard you say something. A moment where they saw something in you that they recognized in a way they didn't have words for. Something small, maybe. Nothing that looked like a beginning from the outside. And from that moment, something started. Not announced, not acted on. Just there. Living in them, growing in the quiet. And growing in quiet for this long produces a very specific quality of feeling, the kind that has been examined from every angle in private, that has survived every attempt to talk itself out of existing, that has outlasted every reason it should have passed by now. And feelings that survive all of that are the most real kind there is. And what this person is about to say to you has been the most real thing they've been carrying for longer than they've let themselves fully admit. Drop a comment right now and say, I claim this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now and turn on that notification bell. Okay, let's pull an oracle card for their energy first. Then we get into the tarot. Okay, first oracle card. They have loved you in silence long enough that the silence has become unbearable. And your guides led with this because it's the most honest description of where this person is. Because there's a threshold, a point where carrying something privately stops being manageable, where the weight of the unsaid becomes heavier than the fear of saying it. And this person has been approaching that threshold for a while. Testing it, backing away from it, coming back to it, and the threshold has been crossed. Not dramatically, not with a plan. The silence just became unbearable in the specific way that silences become unbearable when the cost of continuing it finally exceeds the cost of speaking. And speaking is what's coming. Not as a strategy, not because the timing seems perfect. Because the silence has reached its limit and the love is too real to stay hidden. Okay, second oracle card. Every time they almost said it, something stopped them, but nothing is stopping them now. And this is the specific history of what's been happening. Because there have been moments, you may even be able to identify some of them. Moments that had a quality of something almost being said. A pause that lasted a beat too long. A look that carried more than the words around it. A conversation that got close to something real and then veered away at the last second. And each of those moments was a moment they almost said it, and something stopped them each time. Fear of how you'd receive it. Fear of what it would change. Fear of the loss of what already exists if the admission doesn't land the way they hope. And all of those fears have been running, and something has shifted. And the shifting isn't that the fears disappeared. It's that the love became louder than the fears. And love that becomes louder than fear finds its way out. Okay, third oracle card. What they feel for you is not casual. It has been tested and it has held. And your guides are being very specific about the quality of what this person carries, because feelings that have been held in silence for a long time get tested by other people entering the picture, by circumstances that should have distracted from the feeling, by the simple passage of time that erodes things which aren't genuinely rooted. And this feeling has been tested by all of those things, and it held every single time. Other people came and went, and the feeling for you was still there. Circumstances changed, and the feeling adapted rather than disappeared. Time passed, and instead of erosion, there was accumulation. And feelings that hold through all of that are not accidents. They're not infatuation. They're not projection or wishful thinking or the convenient attachment of someone who needed someone. They're the real thing, and the real thing is what's about to be said to you. The Six of Cups, the Hermit reversed, the Star, the Moon reversed. The Six of Cups is showing me where this love started, in the warmth of real shared moments. And the Six of Cups is memory, the specific warmth of things that happen between you that live in them as treasured things. Moments you might not remember in the same detail because you weren't carrying them the way they were carrying them. But to this person, specific things you said, specific things that happened, specific ordinary moments that had a quality of something more. Those are the moments that built this. And the Six of Cups feeling isn't fleeting. It's accumulated over time into something specific. And what it accumulated into is a love that knows you, not the projected version of you, not the version they wished you were, the version that actually exists. And that's the version they've been quietly in love with. And I want to stay with the Six of Cups because there's more here. Because the Six of Cups is also showing me something about how they have carried this with a specific quality of care, like a thing that's precious. Something that doesn't get handled roughly or used carelessly. And the care with which they've carried their love for you. In silence, in private, through all the moments they almost said it and didn't, is itself evidence of how significant you are to them, because you handle with care the things you understand to be valuable, and they have understood the value of what they feel for you since the very beginning. And the beginning was a long time ago, and the Hermit reversed. And the Hermit has been in the cave with this for a very long time, processing it, living with it privately, examining it from every angle, going over the almost moments and the reasons and the fears and the what ifs. And the Hermit reversed is the cave ending, the conclusion of the private processing arriving as a direction. And the direction, after all of the cave time, after all of the examining, after all of the love being tested against time and circumstance and other people, is toward you. And the Hermit reversed, coming out of the cave with a direction, is one of the most resolved energies the cards can show. Because the cave time was the work. The cave time was the examining. And the direction that emerges from genuine examining is the most considered and complete direction there is. And the star is the hope this person has been tending quietly. And tending hope quietly is one of the most specific experiences a human being can have, keeping a light on for something you're not sure will ever be possible, but being unable to extinguish it anyway. And this person has been doing that, tending the hope that what they feel might be received, that the moment might come, that something would shift enough for the saying of it to become possible. And the star in this position is showing me that the tending paid off. Because the star that gets tended, the hope that's kept alive through the doubt and the fear and the this might never happen, is the one that's still burning when the moment finally arrives. And the moon reversed. And the moon reversed is the hidden world becoming visible. Everything that's been operating in private, the love carried in silence, the hope tended quietly, the feelings that have been living in the moon's world for so long, surfacing, becoming speakable. And the moon reversed for someone who has been holding love this long in the private world is one of the most significant movements the cards can show. Because it means the internal finally becomes external. What was only real in their private world becomes real in the shared space. And what becomes real in the shared space cannot be taken back. And they know that, and they're coming anyway. Because the love is ready to be real in the shared space where you can receive it. Okay, fourth oracle card. They know the risk of saying it, and they've decided the risk is worth it. And your guides are laying out the courage this requires. Because saying I've been in love with you since is not a small thing. It's an exposure, a full one, with no protection around it. It reveals not just the current feeling, but the duration of it since you, which means it's been there for a while, which means the feelings have been private for a while, which means they've been carrying this quietly while everything else was happening. And the admission of all of that at once is vulnerable in a way that not many things are. And this person has sat with the vulnerability, and they've made a decision about it. And the decision is the risk of saying it is smaller than the certainty of regret from not saying it. And that calculation, that specific conclusion, is one of the most complete forms of courage a person can arrive at. Drop a comment and say, I receive this, because this is coming to you from courage. The Lovers, the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, and the Lovers is the soul level recognition that has been running through this the entire time. And I want to be clear about what this card means in this specific reading. The Lovers isn't showing me what happens after the admission. It's showing me what already exists, what has been real in this person from the beginning. And the beginning was a very specific moment that the Lovers card is describing. The moment they recognized something in you that matched something in them. The moment that had the quality of, oh, I know this person. Not from before necessarily, but in the way you know a thing is real before you have language for it. And the Lovers' recognition arrived for them, and it never left. And what's about to be admitted is the Lovers' recognition finally finding its words. And I want to go deeper with the Lovers because this card has layers here. The Lovers is also the card of conscious choice, not falling into something, choosing something, and this person has been choosing you, not in the acted on sense, in the internal sense, in the private world of the hermit's cave, in the tending of the star, in the carrying of the Six of Cups warmth. They have been choosing you consistently every time something or someone else appeared that might have been easier. Every time the love they were carrying seemed unreasonable to keep carrying, they chose you, and now the choosing is becoming external. And external choosing is the most beautiful thing you can witness someone do for you. And the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is what gets said when this admission finally happens. And the Ace of Cups is overflowing, which means what comes out isn't measured or partial or the safe version. It's full. Everything that's been in the cup, every moment, every feeling, every time the love was felt and not expressed, comes out together. And Ace of Cups expressions have a quality that's unmistakable. They don't sound rehearsed. They don't arrive in perfect sentences. They arrive with the texture of something that has been real for a very long time and is finally allowed to be real out loud. And out loud, from someone who has been carrying this much quietly for this long, has a specific kind of weight that lands differently than anything else. And the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is riding toward you, heart out, not strategically, not after careful calculation of the best possible timing, because the feeling became too real to keep only on his side of things. And the Knight of Cups in this position, after the stars tended hope and the moon reverse surfacing and the Hermit's cave concluding and the Lover's recognition running, is the movement, the actual physical, this is really happening movement toward you. And the quality of movement that comes from someone who has held a feeling this long before acting on it is the most intentional, most considered, most fully meant movement there is. Because it wasn't impulsive, it was chosen repeatedly until the choosing produced the courage to move. And the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is what becomes available when this admission is received honestly. And the Two of Cups is two people in the same honest space at the same time, both present, both real, both fully in the same thing. And the Two of Cups in this reading feels different from the Two of Cups in any other reading I've done today, because it comes after so much quiet, after so much private carrying, after so much tending and hoping and almost saying it. And a Two of Cups that comes after all of that is the most complete version of that card. Because both people have been brought to it by real feeling rather than by convenience or circumstance. And real feeling that finds its way to the shared space after this much quiet has a quality of finally that is completely its own. And the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is divine timing. And I want to say something specific about timing in this reading. Because the timing of this admission arriving now and not before is not an accident. And it might feel like it should have come sooner. And from one angle, it might even seem late. But the Wheel of Fortune in this position is showing me something that matters. Now is when both of you are ready. Not just them, both of you. In the specific configuration of where each of you is in your lives, what each of you is carrying, what each of you is open to. The timing is not late. It's the wheel at exactly the right position. And what arrives at exactly the right position arrives with everything behind it that the earlier timing would not have had. Okay, fifth oracle card. The admission isn't the beginning, it's the naming of something that already exists. And your guides are saying something profound with this, because sometimes we think of a love admission as the start of something, as if the feeling is created by the saying of it, and your guides are reframing that completely. The love already exists, has existed, since a moment your guides can see clearly even if you can't. And what's coming isn't the creation of something new, it's the naming of something real that was already there. And things that get named, things that get brought from the private world into the shared space, become more real, not different real, more solid, more acknowledged, more available to both people to move toward and build from. And the naming of what already exists is one of the most significant gifts one person can give another. Drop a comment and say, I receive this fully, because the love is already real. The naming is just beginning. The Empress, the world, the sun, the Ten of Cups, the Empress, and the Empress is you in this moment, receiving this. And I want to say something specific about how the Empress receives a love admission of this magnitude, not with performed surprise, not with managed response designed to protect herself from the full weight of what's being offered, not from the place that wonders if she deserves this or if it's real or if it will last. The Empress receives it from the place that knows her own value. And from that place, from full height, from full knowing, she opens, not carelessly, not naively, but fully. And the Empress receiving something fully honors what the person offering it has carried for so long, to be able to give it And I want to stay with the Empress because your guides are showing me something about this specific moment for you. Because the admission coming, the since you, the I've been in love with you since, is the universe confirming something for you too. Something about your own worth, your own desirability, the specific quality of who you are that has been real enough and significant enough to live in someone for this long. And the Empress in this position is your guide saying, receive the confirmation as confirmation. Let it update how you see yourself. Let the love that's been real in someone for this long tell you something true about the person it chose to be real for and the world. And the world is full circle, completion. And in this reading, the world is showing me two things at once. The completion of a cycle for them, of carrying something quietly, of almost saying it and pulling back, of tending the hope and sitting in the hermit's cave and watching the wheel turn. That cycle completes when the admission happens, and the completion for you of wondering perhaps, of sensing something without being sure, of being near something real and not having the full picture of what it was, and the world arriving for both of you at the same time is the most complete version of that card. Because world level completion that arrives for two people at the same time is the specific kind that opens into something genuinely new and the sun. And the sun here is the quality of what becomes available after the admission lands. Because when something has been held privately for a very long time and then expressed honestly, when the Hermit's Cave concludes and the moon reverse surfaces and the Ace of Cups overflows, what follows is a specific kind of warmth. The warmth of something real being allowed to be real in the open. And the sun in this position isn't just happiness, it's the specific warmth of relief. The relief of not having to carry something alone anymore, of being in the shared space, of the private world and the external world finally being the same. And that relief belongs to both of you. And it arrives with everything the sun brings when it finally shines. And the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment. And I want to be specific about what the Ten of Cups looks like in the context of this reading. It's not the instant destination of the admission. It's the long arc destination of two people who arrived at honesty through a lot of quiet and a lot of carrying and a lot of courage. And the Ten of Cups that comes from that kind of path, from love that was tested and held and eventually given voice, is one of the most durable versions of that card. Because it didn't come from a moment, it came from a long, slow building that was real the whole time. And what's real the whole time tends to stay real long after the admission was made. Okay, tea leaf cards, 8 of them. First tea leaf card, a moment they remember that you probably don't, the one where it started, and this is the central image of the whole reading, because there is a moment, a specific one that has a name for them, even if it doesn't have a name for you. And this tea leaf card is your guides showing you that the love is that specific. It started somewhere. There was a before and an after. And on their side of that moment, whatever it was, something shifted. Something recognized something said this person. And the since you of the title lives in that moment. And the admission coming is carrying that moment forward from the private world where it's lived into the shared space where you can finally know what they saw in that moment that started everything. Next tea leaf card. Feelings that survived everything they went through, arriving unchanged. And this tea leaf card is about the durability of what's coming toward you because things happened Life happened, time passed, other people appeared, circumstances changed, and the love survived all of it. Arrived at this moment unchanged in its essential quality. Not exactly the same as it was at the very beginning. It deepened, it matured, it accumulated more of you in it as more of you became known, but unchanged in its direction. Still pointing the same way, still real, and love that survives everything and arrives unchanged in its essential quality is one of the rarest things one person can offer another. Next tea leaf card. All the times they chose not to say it, and the one time they finally do. And this tea leaf card is about the history of the almost moments and where they've been leading. Because every time they almost said it and didn't was a moment the love continued in silence. And the accumulation of all of those almost moments, the weight of all of them together, is what makes the one time they finally do so significant. Because it's not just the admission in isolation. It's the admission plus every time they almost said it, plus every time the love was felt and not expressed, plus every time the silence cost them something, and the one time they finally do carries all of that with it. And love that carries all of that with it when it finally arrives, lands with the weight of everything it survived. Next tea leaf card. Your name in their private thoughts more often than you'll ever know. And this tea leaf card is the most intimate one because your name has been in their private thoughts constantly, not occasionally. Not when they make space for it, constantly, in the background of other things, in the foreground when nothing else demands attention, in the inconvenient moments and the appropriate ones and all the moments in between, and the frequency of it, the constancy of your presence in their private world, is proportional to the love. And the love is significant enough that your name has been the most visited place in their private world for as long as this has been real. Next tea leaf card. The moment they say it and the specific quality of relief that follows. And this tea leaf card is about what the moment of the admission actually feels like for them. And the quality of it isn't what you might expect. It's not triumphant, it's not dramatic, it's relief. The specific, deep, finally exhaling relief of putting something down that has been carried for so long, of saying the thing in the shared space that has been real in the private world for years. Of the two versions, the one they showed and the one they actually were. Becoming one, and the relief is for you to witness because you're going to see it in them in the moment. The specific quality of someone who just put down something very heavy and can finally stand fully upright. Next tea leaf card. You more beloved than your daily life has let you know, and your guides placed this one specifically for you. Because the reading has been mostly about them, their love, their carrying, their admission coming, and your guides are pausing to show you something from your own side. You have been loved, specifically and genuinely loved, not in ways that were always visible, not in ways you necessarily had access to, but really in the private world of someone who has been paying real attention for real time. And the version of you that exists in their love, the specific you that they've been in love with since, is the real version. Not the best version you perform, the actually real you. And the actually real you has been loved for longer and more completely than your daily life has been showing you. Next tea leaf card. The admission changing the quality of every interaction you've had before it. And this tea leaf card is about what happens after the admission, specifically how it changes everything that came before. Because when you find out that someone has been in love with you since a specific moment, every interaction you've had with them since that moment looks different. The thing they said that time, the way they showed up when they didn't have to, the specific quality of attention they've always paid, it all makes sense in a new way. And the making sense of the history is one of the most complete gifts the admission gives, not just the present and the future, the past too. All of it suddenly coherent in a way it wasn't before you knew. And the last tea leaf card, two people finally on the same page after a very long time of one of them holding the whole book. And your guides ended on this because it's the most complete image of what this moment represents. Because the book of this connection has been held by one person for a long time. They've been reading it in private, living in it privately, adding to it privately, and the admission is the moment they pass it to you or show you what they've been reading. And suddenly both of you are on the same page. The same real, honest, here is what this actually is page. And being on the same page after one person has been holding the whole book alone is one of the most significant forms of relief two people can experience together. Okay. Final messages from your guides. 8 cards. Receive this with your whole heart, not just the part of it that feels safe. And your guides want this to be the first message. Because when something significant is offered, when someone says, I've been in love with you since, the instinct to protect yourself is real. To receive it partially, to keep a part of your heart at a managed distance from the full weight of what's being given. And your guides are saying, not this time, because what's being offered was carried carefully for a very long time. And carefully carried things deserve to be received carefully, which means fully, with your whole heart, not recklessly, not without your own wisdom about yourself and what you need, but fully, the way something real that has been this patient and this real for this long deserves to be received. Next, final card. You don't have to have everything figured out in the moment. Just be honest, and your guides are removing a specific pressure here. Because when someone admits they've been in love with you since a specific moment, when the full weight of a love this long and this real arrives, there can be a pressure to have the perfect response, to know exactly what you feel, to be clear and certain and complete in your response in a way that matches the completeness of what was just offered. And your guides are saying, you don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to be honest. And honest in the moment looks like, I hear you. And here is what's actually true in me right now. And the person who just admitted a love this long is someone who can wait for you to find your honest words. They've already been waiting for a very long time. Next final card. What they see in you, let it inform how you see yourself. And your guides are giving you something here that goes beyond this specific situation. Because the love this person has been carrying, the specific version of you it was directed at is accurate. An accurate love is information about who you are, not the romanticized projection of someone who doesn't know you. The love of someone who has known you, really known you through time and circumstance, and found something that made the carrying worthwhile. And what they found is the real you. And the real you is worth letting this love tell you something true about. Next final card. The love was always going to find its voice. Trust the timing. And your guides are giving you the bigger picture of why now. Because the since you spans a long time. And the admission could have come at various points along the way, and it didn't, and it's coming now. And the wheel of fortune clicking, the divine timing of now, is the universe saying this is the right moment. Not because it's the easiest moment or the most convenient, but because both of you are carrying what you need to carry to receive and give this honestly. And honest receiving and honest giving require a specific kind of readiness in both people. And the readiness is here on both sides. Now. And the love was always going to find its voice. When the readiness arrived. Next final card. The love being said out loud doesn't change what it is, it completes it. And your guides are making a distinction here that really matters. Because sometimes we think of an admission as changing something, as if the saying of it transforms the feeling into something it wasn't before. And your guides are saying, the love was real before, and the love is real after. The saying doesn't change its quality, it completes it. Because love that exists only in the private world, that has no acknowledgement in the shared space, is real but incomplete. And the completion, the naming, the giving it voice, the finally saying it, is the love arriving in its fullest form. And the fullest form of something real is the most beautiful thing you can be offered. Next, final card. This love has always known where it was going. It just needed the courage to get there. And your guides are saying something profound with this. Because from the beginning, from the moment the love started, from the since you, it always knew its direction. It was always pointing toward you. Every almost moment. Every time it was felt and not expressed. Every time the hope was tended and the star was kept lit and the hermit's cave produced another layer of knowing. It was always going here, to this moment, to the saying of it, to the Two of Cups possibility and the Ten of Cups destination and the sun and the world arriving. And the thing that was needed to get from the knowing to the saying was courage. And the courage is what arrives when the love becomes louder than everything that was in the way. Next final card. Save this and drop a comment when they finally say it. Save this reading right now. Bookmark it. Share it today. Because when you share something like this, what comes back to you is tenfold. And when the since you arrives, when the words you didn't know were coming finally come through, drop a comment. Tell us what was said. Tell us how it felt. Tell us what it was like to find out that someone has been carrying that for you for that long. Because someone watching this right now is hoping for exactly this. And knowing yours came gives them permission to believe theirs is on its way. And the very last card, you were worth the years of carrying, and the admission is proof. You were worth the years of carrying, and the admission is proof. And your guide saved the most complete truth for last. Because the years of carrying a love in silence, the tending the star, the hermit's cave, the almost saying it moments, the choosing you over and over in private, that's what the admission is built from. And when someone has carried a love in silence for that long and then chooses to give it voice, they're saying something about the person they carried it for. They're saying you were worth all of it, worth the years. Worth the silence, worth the fear of saying it, worth the risk of the admission changing everything, and you were, and you are. And the love that's been real in someone for this long, that survived everything and arrived unchanged in its essential quality and finally found the courage to become words, is the universe's most complete confirmation of exactly how worth it you have always been. Okay, to bring this home, someone is about to admit they've been in love with you since a very specific moment, and the cards showed us everything. The beginning, the carrying, the almost saying it, and the finally saying it. The oracle cards showed us the full arc, the silence becoming unbearable, every almost saying it leading here, the love tested and held, the decision that the risk is worth it, and the admission being the naming of something already real. The Six of Cups and the Hermit reversed and the Star and the Moon reversed showed us the quality and the history of what they've been carrying. Warmth accumulated over time, the cave concluding, the hope tended quietly, the private world becoming visible. The Lovers and the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune showed us the quality of the love and where it leads. And the Empress and the World and the Sun and the Ten of Cups showed us who you are receiving this and what becomes possible. A moment they remember that started everything, feelings that survived everything and arrived unchanged, every almost saying it leading to the one time they finally do, your name in their private thoughts more often than you'll ever know. The specific relief of putting something down that has been carried this long, you more beloved than your daily life has let you know. The admission changing the quality of every interaction that came before it. Two people finally on the same page after one of them held the whole book alone. All of it confirming you were worth the years of carrying. And the admission is proof. Claim this, loves. Drop a comment and say, I claim this and I receive this fully. And I was always worth the carrying. Because every word of that is true. Save this, share it today, and drop a comment when they finally say it. We want to know if this resonated. Please give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment and tell me what hit hardest. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.